Greetings, viewers and listeners. I'm saying listeners as well now, Ben, because we're on Spotify as well.
We are on Spotify, Philster.
Well, what can I say? How can I introduce this? It's a moment of guilt. It's a guilty pleasure, and it's all yours. So I don't know whether do you want me to break you in gently for this, or are you just going to tell us what your terrible secret is, or
have you got some sad piano you can play?
Can you prepare us in some way for this?
Well, I can try.
It's not too much of a shock.
Have you got some sad piano you can sort of play in the background? Or just imagine, like, I'm in a dimly lit room. You look like you're doing a really rubbish version of Thriller there. Just imagine I'm in a dimly lit room and there's just some sad piano. So we've got the mood, haven't we?
Yeah.
So here we go. Hello, everyone. I'm Ben, and I need to address something serious today, because I can't keep living with this lie. And it's time I come clean, and I owe you all an apology. I thought I could hide it, Phil. But maybe, just maybe, you'd never find out. But the truth always finds a way of surfacing itself. So here I am, Phil, coming to you today to confess. God, I've actually made my eyes water. I brought Back to Bedlam by James Blunt. I know.
But at the end, I know there's a little bit at the end there, which I think I made out what you were saying.
I brought Back to Bedlam by James Blunt. I know. I can hear you saying, but you're a self-proclaimed music file with taste. How could you? And that's exactly what I thought too. I remember standing in the music stores, You're Beautiful playing on repeat. It felt like James was speaking directly to my soul. And it was horrible. I was blinded. I was blunted. So last week I was online and I thought maybe it can't be that bad. I thought I'd listen to it a little bit, just once, maybe twice. And then I was spiraling, Phil. My playlists have become haunted by him. I feel like I've been haunted by lyrics about saying goodbye to lovers and carrying tattered rags for clothes. Friends asking me, am I okay? And I just whisper, goodbye, my lover. I've been in deep, Phil. But I feel as a friend you should stage an intervention and say, this isn't you. You're a funk jazz rock guy. What's happened to you, Ben? What has happened? Why have you gone down this road?
Let's just be clear before we go any further,
Yeah.
Ben. So you actually bought James Blunt Back to Bedlam. And that's the album that made him famous, isn't it? I believe that had You're Beautiful on it. Yeah, am I right with that?
Yeah.
And you didn't like it at the time it came. What year did that come out? Was that the late 90s or the very early 2000s or something?
2005.
Was it 2005? It feels like he's been around forever, doesn't it? But I suppose it was 2005. So, and you didn't like it at the time.
I didn't mind some of it, but obviously, I do. Do you know what? I think James Blunt is really funny.
Yeah,
I think he's a really funny guy.
Yeah,
he's very self-deprecating.
He's funny on Twitter, okay, but that doesn't mean he's obviously that doesn't make him cool. Look, I'm standing here as judge, but obviously I also enjoy quite a lot of uncool music, so I'm not really in any position to sneer at this. But I'm just working out the journey that you've been on. So you kind of sort of sneakily liked it from the start, then, did you?
Well, I didn't hate it. I didn't own it, but I didn't hate it. I did like. Let me just have a look. I'm not overly.
But you did have you had a compilation of him a few months
ago.
Yeah.
But that wasn't this.
No.
But Tears and Rain's a good song. Goodbye, My Lovers. Wise Men's a good song. So Long, Jimmy's. Oh, God, Phil, what's happened to me? Can I just say, I think James Blunt gets a bad rap. I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of James Blunt's back catalogue. There are certain songs I do quite enjoy. Maybe it's just fashionable, a bit like with Coldplay, U2, to be just sniffy at him a little bit.
It certainly has become fashionable to sneer at him. He has become that guy that if you're a music fan, a dedicated, passionate music fan who likes cool music particularly, you've got to sneer at James Blunt, just as it used to be. You had to sneer at Phil Collins, or you had to sneer at whoever it was. But yeah, he's definitely become one of those people, isn't it? That it's cool to dislike. But
yeah, but I find him very hard to dislike because, as a person, he is very funny, and I'm kind of attracted by that.
So has that made you more? Does it make you more open to his music? Because if he was a bit of a
if he's a bit of a bellend, then yeah, I wouldn't be. But I do think he's very, very. I love the fact that he is quite self-deprecating, and he does sort of almost. He just kind of harp on the fact that he's only got one song that people know him for, but yeah, I like that sort of thing about him, that he is kind of, he's sold millions of albums, and yet he's not that well thought of. Well, he is, I think, with a lot of people, obviously not purists, as it were. But I think because of that humour, because there is that sort of whatever sort of lacking there is in, the tracks don't grab me like a In My Life by the bit, or Ticket to Ride or Paint It Black or Don't Look Back in Anger. So, but because he's got that personality, I can listen to it and not sort of, it's like listening to a mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost that. It makes you're more open to it because you think you like him as a person. So
yeah.
Is he? I mean, one thing about him is he has a certain vocal tone that I think for some people is in the annoying. He's in the annoying band, that area, isn't it? So that's difficult for some people to get past. I must admit, I don't particularly find his vocal tone pleasing to listen to.
Yeah.
But then I do, there's a lot of artists out there who, when I first listened to them, didn't necessarily love their voice, but got to like it more the more I listened to it.
Well, Morrissey for a start.
Yeah, maybe if James Blunt was considered cool, maybe I would have spent more time listening to him, and maybe I would have got into liking his voice. But I don't think I could ever love his voice. But has he got decent songs? This is the question. Has he got good? They may not be cool songs. They may not be, for connoisseurs.
I think they're very well constructed. I think they're very, yeah. I mean, people are probably coughing up their bloody Rice Krispies right now, or going out and burning effigies of me and you. Well, more me right now than you, Philster. But sometimes you're allowed. I mean, as you can see behind me, look, I've got a massive vinyl collection. So I do obviously like a lot of cool stuff, even the Gaslight Anthem. But I think you're allowed every now and again to have, I've said for a long time, one of my guilty pleasures for a very long time was Ocean Drive album by Lighthouse Family, because it got me through glandular fever, because it just made me think of better days, as it were. So I think he does construct a bit like Gary Barlow. Take that stuff. It is, I think it's okay to like it. I think as I've got older now, I don't mind a bit of Take That. I can listen to a bit of Take That, and I'm open to a bit of Take That. And I think sometimes things that weren't cool back then, as they come back round, you kind of think, oh, do you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I think perhaps I've got more respect for people liking something that's uncool, despite it being considered uncool, than I have for people who just pretend to like what's cool. You know, that's
Like people go, "Oh God, man, do you like the Radiohead albums after Kid A? I mean, they're all really good, man. I mean, I listen to them all the time, like all the time. Like when I'm in an art gallery, I listen to it all the time. When I'm looking at art I don't understand because I don't know it, and I just want to look cool in front of my friends. Oh man, it's so good. It's not. A lot of those albums are hard work. Stop being a knob. That's a technical term as well. So yes, I am openly admitting that, you know, it's not as bad as it was back in the day. You know, I mean, let's face it, I listened to Razorlight back in the day, and you know, so but I think he constructs a good pop song. Like I said, falls very much into that Gary Barlow sort of thing, where, you know what, 30 years ago I wouldn't have listened to a Take That song. Now I'm a little bit more open to it. Now I appreciate it for what it is.
So it's kind of middle of the road adult pop, but
yeah.
You're saying it's good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. So please, from the bottom of my previously blunted heart, forgive me.
So, viewer, can Ben be forgiven? First of all, that's the first question. And can James Blunt be rehabilitated? That may be a longer stretch, but well, we'll leave you to comment on that. In the meantime, Ben's going back to Bedlam from us both. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.